Hello, good evening. This is Brother Benson Mide, and today is a Sunday. We are blessed to have this time to have a conversation. Acha nichukue fursa hii nikaribishe watu wote. Naona Gypsy Corner amerudi, karibu sana Gypsy Corner. I can see Judith Karitha, karibu sana, and everyone at the comment section, karibuni wote. To my panelist, Mr. Barak, I'll give you a chance, and Mr. Miguda to say hi before we proceed. I can also see Brenda Obedi, she's locked in. Karibu sana. Mr. Barak, say hi to our viewers.
Hi, our viewers. Good evening, and I hope you are well. Welcome to Brother Benson Media, and we're looking forward to having a constructive conversation. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, thank you. I don't know whether I think Miguda, are you there? I think he has dropped. Yes, so the conversation that we want to have today is we saw the former nominated member of parliament, Millicent Omanga. She was offered a job by the president, but then instead of accepting the offer, she declined. And also, Bishop Wanjiru was also offered a job. We've not heard from her so far. And now the question is, what next? This is actually not the first time that we are seeing politicians being given a chance by the president and then maybe refusing to accept the job offer. So my first question to you, Mr. Barak, is what do you think is the reason why we are seeing politicians, especially those who have been given this opportunity by the president, declining the job offers? Before we actually get into who Millicent Omanga is and why she declined.
Well, in my opinion, I think expectation sometimes can make a politician to reject a job offer because they look at how lucrative is the job, and this sometimes you can be given a job that is that you might feel is not in line with your status or your stature as a politician. That is one thing that can make a politician decline a job offer. And not only a politician, even these prominent people. You remember, even during the demonstration, when the president came up with the I don't know, was it a committee or what, to investigate and the national debt and report to him after, I don't know if it was 1 month or 2 months. And one of the members of that committee was Faith Adhiambo, the LSK chairperson. And you remember majority of even Justin Wamae was also a member of that commission. So you remember all of them declining. So sometimes it's all about the stature of the politician, and also they feel that this job is not equal to my stature or my capacity. So that can make them decline the offer. And you know that, I don't know, is it Nairobi River Commission? It's something that Ruto created when he became the president, because it was not there before. And if you wanted to be a woman representative of Nairobi County, and also even a Senate of Nairobi County, and you are now placed to serve in a commission, that Nairobi River Commission, it doesn't augur well with the stage of such a person. That is what I can say about that.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Miguda, you can say hi to our viewers before we proceed.
Greetings to our viewers and our panelists and the host. How are you, wherever you are? I've heard and I've seen our loyal friend and our long-time fan, Gypsy Corner, good year, is back. You have been missing in action. Karibu sana.
Okay, thank you. I just wanted to read, and I'm going to quote the comments of Honorable Millicent Omanga. She said that I'm deeply honored and grateful to His Excellency William Samoei Ruto for the trust you've shown in appointing me to serve on the Nairobi River Commission. It's truly a privilege to be considered for such a vital role in improving our beloved Nairobi environment and public health. After careful consideration, I must respectfully decline the appointment due to personal reasons. I remain committed to supporting efforts aimed at restoring Nairobi's rivers and stand ready to contribute in any capacity that aligns with my current commitments. Thank you once again for this honor and for the consideration. Mr. Miguda and Mr. Barak, if you can keenly remember, Millicent Omanga at one point was appointed as a cabinet CIS. Cabinet, I mean the what? CIS. I think that would mean that she was the deputy cabinet secretary. And I think the department was under the State House. She was supposed to be in charge of a docket that was very
Interior.
much. Oh, yeah, interior, yeah. So my question to you is, you know what happened with the CIS? They got declined, and up to date, those people who are appointed for that position, we can say that they're jobless. And after the appointment, most of them received it with a lot of excitement. But then after some point, we realized that it was not within the constitution. Actually, if you remember the last government, they forced it. And this government also, they wanted to force it, but then the court refused. So Millicent Omanga has been missing in action. If you can clearly remember, these are people who stood with the president, especially during while he was running for this post of presidency. Whenever they would go, she went through a lot fighting for the president. And so, she's one of the people that was expected, according to what she did, that should be given the post of cabinet secretary, and we didn't see her. And then after failure to get the CS position, she's been quiet for quite some time. And if you can keenly remember, she even vied for the women rep of Nairobi under the UDA, and she didn't manage. So my question to you is, do you really think she turned down this offer just because it's a, what should I say? Wengine wanasema ni kazi ndogo, ni kazi kidogo for her. Could that really be the reason? And why is it that most of these politicians are declining? Does it mean that they are no longer happy with the UDA and everything? I mean, the running government with the UDA government? Or what is the ground saying? Are they on the ground? And from what maybe they're seeing on the ground, they think or believe that the ground is not supportive of this government. Mr. Miguda.
Okay, thank you so much, Makubura. You know, Millicent Omanga previously provided for the Nairobi women rep, and he failed to become the women rep after she was defeated by one Esther Passaris. So most of the Ruto's allies were rewarded in the Kenya Kwanza administration. Millicent Omanga being not exception, she ought to have been rewarded because many of them were rewarded, but some were still outside, and there was some reserved position for them. Maybe the position of cabinet administrative secretary, which was suspended. Cabinet administrative secretary is more of an assistant minister. When you want to put it in the context of when it is being rewarded to the people right now. So she was early appointed the cabinet administrative secretary for internal security and state department before it was ruled that it is unconstitutional. And indeed, it is unconstitutional. So Mr. Omanga might be having some ambitions in politics. Maybe she wanted to serve in the executive as a CS or as a PS or as a CS, or she wanted to serve in the parliament as a women rep or in Nairobi. So removing her from cabinet, from executive and legislature might be in contrary with her own visions and her own ambitions in politics. Maybe she want to make a comeback 2027, but now if you are taking her away from those slots, you are rewarding her with the position of commission. You know, making a comeback from commission to a politician is not, is an unhappy task. So it might take long for him to make a comeback according to his inner circle advisors and according to her inner circle advisors and according to her own political ambitions. Maybe she want to make a comeback as a women rep, or maybe as a PS or CAS, if in case CAS will be there, because the president said that he had suspended them. But you don't know, he has suspended them, but it means that maybe if one day court will rule that they are constitutional, they can come back and they can be appointed in those positions. So I think this one may be according to her political ambitions or her visions in politics. Maybe she wanted to serve in executive or legislature, but now you're taking her away from those institutions to commission. Commission, maybe it might look to her, it might look a small task according to her. Maybe she wanted to serve where she's having an influence. Maybe she says she's there in the eyes of the public, like the commission. And this Nairobi River Commission, no, it is a recent commission which was introduced, because that constitution allows you can introduce a new commission. So when it was introduced, and I understand that it was Rigathi Gachagua who was given an executive order to be in charge of that Nairobi River Commission. So, you know, Nairobi River Commission has had some issues with the people. You know, the people are feeling that that commission has been suppressing them. That commission has never been fair to them. That commission has been suppressing those people who are particularly living along the Nairobi River, and also those people who have been vacated. It is the commission which has been using those ways to suppress the local people. So, you know, to some extent, because she was once a favorite candidate in the Nairobi women rep, people might view her that. So when you wanted to rule as the women rep, so these are the policies you wanted to implement when you become a women rep. So it's more of creating some conflict between a leader and the people at the grassroots. So there's how people do not like that person who is in charge of that commission. This how even the way Nairobians were like, who is this head of this Nairobi River Commission? So it does not create that harmony between the people of Nairobi and the person in charge of, even when it's a good idea, or when it was there, it was deliberate to help the nature of that river or the nature of the city. But to some extent, when you are implementing it, it might not be good on the eyes of the people who are affected actually. So maybe she wants to deviate herself from engaging into unnecessary in harmony with the people of Nairobi residents, because she was once a favorite and she has a good follower in Nairobi. That one can be another case. Or maybe she can view it may some job which is not necessary for, does not fit her stature, the way she has made some sacrifice to William Ruto, even when she was campaigning for her in the previous election. She got to an extent of even people exposing some of his, you understand, which to an extent, he was pleasing the audience. Even there was a time even Farouk Kebet forced her to dance after she has finished addressing the audience. She was called out, come on, so that you can shake. Yeah? Come and shake the people, whatever she was shaking. I don't want to get into details, but so to that extent, you sacrifice even to expose some of the things you need to expose to your, you understand, your spouse, to the audience for the sake of William to be elected. Then they are going to reward you with a portion of Nairobi River Commission instead of something. Yeah, you understand. So it means it has so many factors why she might decline that job, maybe in terms of political vision, future, maybe in terms of harmony between her and the people, or maybe in terms of the sacrifice she made does not resemble with the position she's being rewarded to. So it's still a question of maybe probability. Makbura, back to you.
Okay, thank you. Maybe there's a question here from a friend, Gypsy Corner, saying that can the host please explain what Nairobi River Commission really cartels? I think, Mr. Barak, I'll throw that question to you as you get into the details of one Millicent Omanga and her political journey and the appointment at the CIS, the waiting that they waited. You know, before that, she vied for Nairobi Women Rep. She was one of the strongest candidates, but she didn't manage. She fought for one, the president. She went through a lot. So kindly clarify what Nairobi Rivers Commission really does and who created that commission, and then you can give us your opinion on what you think on the step that was taken by one Honorable Millicent Omanga.
Well, I think President Ruto is the one who created this Nairobi River Commission, sorry. And the intention, I think, was to ensure that the Nairobi River becomes clean, and that water can be used by the residents of Nairobi. You know, when Ruto became the president, he had so many people that he had to sort out to give back to for standing with him during his journey. You know, if you remember his journey to the presidency, it was one of full of so many bottlenecks, and people who stood with him were persecuted. Even Millicent Omanga, you remember when she was called when he was the nominated senator, and her job was in line, and she was called up at the Jubilee headquarters for disciplinary measures. And there are people who went through a lot, especially because she was nominated then, and the Jubilee wanted her out of Senate because of standing with the deputy president then. So because of those political persecution, and I believe that when she vied for Nairobi Women Representatives seat and failed to capture it, well, Ruto had so many people that she she rewarded by appointing them as CS. You remember we had were they around 54 because they are above 50 CAS, and almost all of them were political rejects. We remember the likes of Kidero, the likes of so many people, even those people who supported Ruto and failed to come to get those seats. Even this blogger. So when the court declared this position unconstitutional, even after them being sworn in, you remember they were all sworn in at State House very early in the morning. And when the court stopped that job, you know, Parliament went and came up with a legislation to operationalize this position so that these people can assume office. And thanks to the demonstration of the Gen Z, because that is when now Ruto abolished that idea of ensuring that these guys assume office. Because if in the absence of that demonstration, I can assure you all these 54 guys would have been in office right now. So when that failed, and I know Omanga was expecting to be to be rewarded with something that is more appealing to her as a politician, and not just a politician, but as a politician who has sacrificed a lot to the president. So Nairobi River Commission, to me, is not something that can be appealing to the somebody of the stage of Millicent Omanga, because of how she built her profile. And she became a force to reckon with, because even though Esther Passaris won the woman representative seat, Millicent Omanga gave her run for her money, so it was not just a walk in the park for Esther Passaris. And if Millicent Omanga can position herself well in the next coming election, she can easily floor Esther Passaris, because Esther Passaris has had a lot of issues, even with her political stand. She has had a lot of blunders that she has committed since 2022 election. So I think that these are the options that Omanga is now looking at. She said that she's respectfully declining the offer because of her personal reasons. And, when someone says personal reasons means a lot. Maybe the president did not consult her first to seek her opinion before gazetting her name in the position. And even maybe because she's appointed in the same commission with Margaret Wanjiru, and Margaret Wanjiru is the chair of the commission. She has been gazetted as the chair of the commission. And we are not sure whether Margaret Wanjiru and Millicent Omanga, their personal relationship, are they people who can work together as a team for the benefit of the people, or there's some kind of egos that one feels that I'm better than the other one. Because Margaret Wanjiru, apart from being a bishop, I don't think there's anything else that she can boast of. But Millicent Omanga has built her brand since she was in campus, and until she came in and she became a nominated senator, and now she ran for a woman representative. He became second, and now she's a household name in Nairobi politics. And I think this government has not really given any significant position to the people of Nairobi, because we always talk of regional balance and we forget about Nairobi. And by Nairobi is the bedroom of Kenyan politics. So, and these guys who get to position in Nairobi, they position themselves as the next national leaders that we have in this country. So this government has not really given something significant to the people of Nairobi, and that is why you see even many people are not very happy with how they are conducting themselves. And the fact that Nairobi River has affected majority of the people who are living along the informal settlement, and if you remember, even during the floods that in May, before the crisis of June, when they were removing people who are settling along the Nairobi River, they focused on the settlement, people who are along the informal settlement, and they forgot about guys who are living in these estates like Leleshwa, Muthaiga, and the Nairobi River affected them, but they decided to look the other side, because these people, they have nobody to stand with them during crisis. So I think personally, I can say that maybe Millicent Omanga, looking at her political capital that she has vis-a-vis the job that she's been given, these commissions, you should give this commission to people who are almost in their sunset years in politics, not someone who is just now starting to build her profile. So I will maybe, for example, in Nairobi, if you look at people who have maybe their past 70 years, they can waste time sitting in those commissions doing nothing, because basically those commissions, they don't do anything significant. If you remember the reign of of John Michuki as the environment minister, he single-handedly led the cleanup of Nairobi River. And that is why we have John Michuki Park just along Kipande Road, because of what John Michuki did as a single cabinet secretary for a minister for environment. So we have dually as the CS for environment. We have Nairobi Commission. So what are these people going to do just to clean the river? If someone is intentional in what they are doing, you don't need commissions to clean a river. You just need an environment CS who is serious with this job, and if we just lead a cleanup for a few weeks, and Nairobi River will be clean. But because we have so many people who have invested in the president, so the president is trying to sort them out using all these means. And unfortunately, others are declining, others are accepting. But that is the nature of politics. Once you feel that you are being demeaned by the position you are being given, obviously you will say no. I remember when Kibaki sent his cabinet packing in 2005 after losing a referendum to the opposition, and he was now trying to reconstitute his cabinet. And a good number of cabinet of people who are appointed rejected the appointment, because people are saying, no, I cannot come into this government that is going to fail in the next 2 years, let me stay aside and build my political career and not commit a political suicide by joining this government. So there are so many reasons that can make Omanga to reject this offer. The reason that she's referring as personal. That's my take.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Barak. To our viewers, this is Brother Benson Media, and here we say that your opinion counts. If you're new to this channel, kindly like and subscribe, and we will really, really appreciate. Yes, so my panelist, on this issue of politicians and people, not accepting the president's offer. We've seen this is actually not the first one. There's a time Faith, the current LSK president, also she was appointed, and she refused to accept that appointment. And now this is the second, and then there's also one I'm forgetting. I think this is the third one now. So the question is, by the time when Faith Odhiambo was appointed, when she was appointed by the president, but then the people of Kenya, especially the young people, the Gen Zs, they were out in streets, and there was a lot of pressure from the young people, and the government was seen as a government that had failed to listen to the people. The government was viewed as a government that had failed to cater and respect the lives and the freedoms that are given to the Kenyans within the constitution. And now again, there's also people who are saying that the reason why politicians, the likes of Millicent Omanga, are refusing this appointment is because politically, the president is, on ground, the president and the government that is leading is not really welcomed by the people. And people are saying that it could be that she refused to accept this offer because from where she sits, the people of Kenya are not very much happy with what is going on in this government. And there has been several accusations of this government is mishandling the rights of the people. There has been accusations of corruption. There has been accusations of people within this government not following the constitution. And so my question to you is, someone like Millicent Omanga, she has future interest in politics. And so the question is, and remember, she wants to vie in Nairobi. Nairobi is the only place that if you don't really follow what the people say, if the ground is not okay with you, if you are from a political party that is not aligning very well with the people, then there's a probability that you'll not survive. And so my question to you is, do you think it is because of her political ambitions and what she's seeing on the ground, especially with this UDA government? Could that be the reason why she refused? Because the people are suffering. The people are saying, no, this government is taking us too fast, Mr. Migoda. Could that be the reason? And again, politically, could it be that the political interest that she has is telling, she's trying to get convinced that the people are changing, the ground is changing, the ground is not maybe with the president. And so she's trying to maybe relax. What could be the reason?
We need to understand this Nairobi River Commission before we make a conclusion why Omanga has declined the president offer by appointing her to be the commission or one of the commission in the Nairobi River Commission. Nairobi River Commission was initiated by President William Ruto in 2023, I think around February. And Nairobi River Commission, there was reasons why it was brought into board. Purposely, it was there to make sure that there is restoration of that river from its state to a better one, and also to make sure that there's a clean water, and also its management, how it can be managed, because it's a river that is within the city and urban center in that case. And it was more of urban development. So to develop the urban and also to avoid pollution and waste management. That was the purpose for this Nairobi River Commission. And it has so many representatives from various sector, be it environment, from national government and county government. There are various representatives to this commission. Though it is being led by the chairperson, but there are some representatives even from the county, from the municipal, from national government, from other part of the Nairobi. So the way I've said earlier that if you are a politician and you're someone who is ambitious, it's somehow creating some not disunity between you and the people of Nairobi, and they want to engage you to that commission. That commission is lesser even compared to ACS commission, because ACS position is more of a broader one that allows you to engage to the people. But this one will only limit you to the issues of managing the river and bringing back to the restoration. So it has been limited back to the managing of a natural resources, for example, like that case, the river. So you are not even dealing with the people, but dealing with the river. So by you make sure that it is clean, there is no pollution, there is waste management. That one is belittling someone who is ambitious and someone who knows why she came into politics. Talking of the issue of commissions, some of these commissions, there have been debates, there have been proposals for amendment. For instance, if you look at our chapter 15 of the Constitution, which envisages the commissions and independent offices, there are some commissions like salary and remuneration commissions and revenue and allocation commission. So there have been debates that why can't we merge these two so they become one instead of separating them, and they're doing more of the similar role. And also there are arguments and debates that, for instance, the issue of independent electoral and boundary commission, because why do we have it as a full-time commission, yet we have elections after every 5 years, or by-election stroke special elections, and also we do registration of voters. So they don't work on a daily basis. So why can't we just have them part-time commissions, not full-time commissions? So those are things which are there for proposal of amendment. And why do we have a public service as cabinet secretary for public service? At the same time, we have public service commission. Why can't we even remove public service commission and remove the cabinet secretary for public service? So there have been those arguments. So even if someone want to put you to be one of the commissions in those, maybe you are representing those commissions, you might doubt that person, because what if the next morning people wake up and say that let us do away with the river commissions? So where are you going to go? Or how is that one going to end with your career? So it is more of a risky task to take, because it's a 50-50. You don't know whether you will work for the rest of your life, or sometimes people can work, parliament can decide and let us amend this commission, let us remove it, let us merge it, let us also bring another one. So let us make this one a full-time or a part-time commission. So it's somehow risky. So to finish my point with answer to your question, I see there's a possibility. The reason why Omanga declined this offer, Omanga might view it that it is a humble way, or it is a humble response to the boss that I don't want this job. So maybe it's just responding in a humble way, as someone who is loyal to the boss and someone who has absolute respect, someone who respect the boss immensely, to understand that he understand the rules of loyalty. So it was like maybe reminding the boss, okay, it's good that you appointed me, but as for me, I have declined it in a humble way, but deep down, she doesn't want this thing. So I think that's she was just trying to to remain loyal to the boss because of the current political dynamics of this country. You can't just take a bold step and respond negatively because of consequences we are facing currently. Back to you, Makubura.
Thank you, Mr. Migoda. To our panelist, Mr. Barak. Politically, how is the ground? Is UDA really okay on the ground? Could that be the reason why Honorable Manga, she's trying to play safe, being that Nairobi is a very slippery environment? There are people having such that comment. What's your take on that?
I think Omanga has not declined the job because of the ground or what the people feels in the ground. It is because of the nature of the job. I'm sure if she could have been given a better position, she could have accepted happily. And right now, she could have been celebrating, maybe waiting to be vetted by Parliament. It maybe could have been a CS position, or because she believed that she deserved something bigger than what she was given. So it has nothing to do with the ground. And another thing, Nairobi, if you remember, when Moi was the president, Moi used to win the presidency without Nairobi, because Nairobi is normally world over, capital cities are a bedrock of the opposition, because people who live in the capital cities are people who are enlightened. Majority of them are people who are educated, and they understand, and they are the one people who bear the brunt of economic hardships in anytime there's a problem with the economy. And even there are the people who experience high rate of unemployment, the people who experience insecurity, people who experience all these negative things that affect the society. So once you live in a capital city, that's when you become very much affected by any negative thing that is in the society. So that's why you find that many governments, they don't enjoy supports from the capital cities. And when Moi was the president, you remember, out of the 8 members of parliament from Nairobi, he used to have only one from Westlands, who was Fred Gumo. And the rest, the 7, used to go to the opposition, straight from 1992 election, 97 election, until he went home in 2002. And if you look at in 2007, when ODM went to election alone as an opposition party against PNU of Kibaki, ODM won again 7 seats in Nairobi, and PNU got only 1, Dagoretti, when that was won by Beth Mugo. So you find that normally Nairobi is the bedroom of the opposition. So even right now, I don't expect to find many people in Nairobi supporting the government. In fact, it should not be like that. Because if we support the government and we are living in the capital city, then we'll be even failing our counterparts who lives in the rural area. Because we are the people who should show them the light. We should who should expose the ills in the government. Because you are in the capital, you are more enlightened, you are more knowledgeable, you are more affected by all this. Yeah. Even if you hear about adoptions, they happen more in the capital. If you live in your rural area, who is going to account for you? It's rare. It's rare unless you've wronged someone who is after you. But the government is focused mostly on people who are in the capital. So my point is that Omanga has not declined this job because of the ground, because of maybe whatever he wants to become in the future. It's because he feels that as a position of her stature, this job is so demeaning to her stature as a politician who has built a profile such as hers. She needed something better. You remember someone like Moses, not Moses, this Mwaura guy. Mwaura was given a lucrative position, government spokesperson. And do you know that we have so many people speaking on the behalf of the government that even Mwaura is not being felt? The only government spokesperson that was felt in this country is Alfred Mutua, because Alfred Mutua used to speak, and you could listen to a government spokesperson speaking. But if you look at Mwaura, she's not even behaving like a government spokesperson, because this government is so dysfunctional that even anybody speaking on its behalf, and you are not even sure which is the official position of the government, because Gachagua is speaking on one end, Ruto is speaking on the other end. This president's aide, Farouk Kibet, is also speaking on the other end. Sudi is speaking on the other end. So you find who is really speaking on behalf of the government, and every cabinet secretary is just. Have you ever seen a government that a cabinet secretary is supporting impeachment motion against the deputy president? Where on earth does that happen? It can only happen in a confused government that the one we have right now. So Omanga was looking forward to a better position, even like that one that was given to Mwaura. But she was being given a member of a commissioner in a commission that is not even constitutional, because you know commissions like IBC, like Salary and Remuneration Commissions, public, those are constitutional commissions that even Parliamentary Service Commission, they are in the parliament. But you know, this Nairobi Commission it was just created with an executive order that even the president can wake up in the morning and revoke that order, and that's it. But you know, these other commissions that are constitutional, the president cannot revoke them because they are entrenched in the constitution. So it is my opinion is that she rejected the job because of the job was so demeaning to the stature of her to the someone, a politician who has built a stature for herself, and with the kind of profile that she has and the kind of political support that she enjoys, that job was so demeaning to her, and that is the main reason why she has rejected. It has nothing to do with the people. That's my take.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Barak. That was a good take, good analysis. Something else that we've not seen Daktari Bishop giving comments. And my question to you, I haven't really followed so much. I believe she has not given a comment so far. And so the question that I'm asking is, you know, sometimes back she cried. She was crying literally in the church, saying how she was being mistreated by the president and by a government that she fought for. And you know, she really cursed this government, if you can remember. She used words that, if you are Christian, you truly say that this is going to be hard on the people that those words are being said to. And so my question to you is, what do you think could be her take, considering the words that she used and her view, her whole view of this government, Mr. Megoda?
You know, if she cried when she was being attacked by the very regime, and also she cursed the government, I think her tears were not in vain, and her curse were not in vain as well. That's why we have this defunct government, because if at all her tears and her curse could be in vain, we could have a functional government, but this one is not functioning. This is a defunct government. So we are happy for that lady because all her tears were not in vain. Margaret Wanjiru hasn't come out to maybe accept or decline the offer. From where I am, from my intel, I haven't received any reliable intel that she has accepted or declined. I think she's trying to sit on the fence because maybe you never know why are they giving her this offer. Could it be that it is a way of enticing her to accept all the wrongs this regime have not only done to her but the public? Or does it mean now they want her to accept this offer for her to go on with the to forgive? Because there was a time that she vowed that she will never support William Ruto, and William Ruto is going to be a one-term president. Does it mean now, after this offer, William Ruto is going to be a two-term president? Does it mean that now William Ruto's sins have been forgiven? So does it mean that they are now wiping her tears? So it's somehow a complex offer for her to make, because even her, she was never rewarded with this current regime. The regime went further to destroy her spiritual beliefs, because, and also, this regime wanted to give this woman this offer, and there have been so many conflicting relationship between religion and the Nairobi County. And just to rejoin the answer the question you asked Barack about the slippery Nairobi. It is not only slippery in politics, but it's also slippery in religion and slippery in the relationship between the politics and religion of Nairobi people. I know the followers of Margaret Wanjiru are those people who are, particularly, majority of them are the people who are coming from the Islando, and they understand the issue of Islando, whereby even majority of the MPs from the Islands, they do not have, I think they don't even vote in parliament according to the position of their parties or according to the position of their interests of their bosses. You find that there are people from Islando, they are diverse in terms of political parties. Some are in ODM, some are in Jubilee, some are in Wiper, but they usually vote unanimously as people from the Islando, because they understand that it is very slippery when you do not side with the people of Nairobi, the Nairobians. And those people who have been elected maybe twice, thrice, or four times, particularly the opposition MPs, either you're a sycophant to that leader, or you are siding with the people at the ground. So when you're not a sycophant, you don't side with the people at the ground, you can do one term. One term is just enough for you in Nairobi, because the Nairobians are very creative, and they're very intellect, and they know how to decide, make decisions. Those people who have make a comeback, either you're a psychopath in a position, or maybe you side the people of Kenya. So even this one applied to the religion. What if, that's why I told you it was a bit complex, the person being offered this offer, because what if she accepts the offer? Does it mean that she's going to lose the congregation? Because there's those members who are bitter with William Ruto, asking that they vowed that never shall we elect him. Because what about if she accepts the offer and the people will, they walk out of the church? So it's going to lose the people, and the people are there forever. The job is not permanent. The job is temporary, because it can be revoked anytime. It's more of a contractual. So what if I lose my people? At the same time, what if I accept this offer? So I create harmony between me and the government, because of the property I'm having at the urban centers. So it's more of a complex, and it's more of a trapping offer. So that's why she has decided to keep mum. And according to me, just be a principled person. If you say no, mean no. If you say yes, mean yes. Even if it's costing you, let your principle cost you, because provided that you stand with the people and you stand with the constitution. So you do not be afraid, do not fear anybody, because the people are supreme, and you are protecting also the rule of law. So Makobura, the slipper is not only in politics, but it's also cut across the religion and also in business. To respond to your question, back to you.
Thank you, Mr. Migoda. I think you've given your take. That was a nice one. So, Mr. Barak, Margaret Wanjiru, she prayed for this government, and she confirmed that when they wanted to get her out of that place where she is in CBD, she was really bitter, but now she's been appointed. What do you think is going to be his take? Is it a tempting move by the president to appoint him? What is your take? Do you really think if she's going to accept it, and would she be actually comfortable, bearing in mind that at some point she said that this is a government that should not be trusted?
Well, Margaret Wanjiru, if you watched her clips during campaign and you watched her cry, you will see someone who is not even serious, because she turned her church into a Jubilee campaign rally. No, not Jubilee, UDA campaign rally every Sunday. In fact, she used to wear the Jubilee, the UDA campaign merchants in her church, and she will even preach a sermon based on the UDA manifesto. And she assured her congregants that this was a God-chosen government. So, I think it was even less than 1 year in office, and Wanjiru was there. She changed her mind and said a lot of things about the same government that was God chosen. And right now, the same government that she cast with all her passion and her might has given her a job. This is what happens when you mix religion with politics. You know, even in the Old Testament, religious leaders were not kings, because the religion had a role in the society to guide the king, and they had to advise, to cushion the king when the king is going astray. They were not there to go to bed with the king, and when the king has stand against them, that's when now they raise voices. Because, you know, when you assure your congregants, and this is where I think in 2022 many churches that are aligned to the evangelical wing of the Christianity went wrong, because they celebrated even Ruto'S win, and they said this is a win for the Christianity. And you remember when they went to celebrate at Nyayo Stadium, and the sermons that were preached in Nyayo Stadium, you know, God can never be mocked. And when human beings, specifically those who proclaim to be leaders in Christianity, start mocking God, I can assure you it will not be long before God exposes them for who they are. And this is exactly what is happening in this country. Those who prayed for this regime and assured Kenyans that this was the God-chosen regime, and the other one was associated with the demonic, I don't know. And right now, they are these people who are crying loudest more than the bereaved. If you want to serve God, even if you want to vie as a politician, do not go overboard and change your church into a political rally. Do not expose yourself and your members to ridicule of politicians, because politicians will wake up one morning and do other things. If you look at the Ruto who was in charge today and Ruto who will be in State House tomorrow, plotting how to impeach his deputy, those are two different people. So do you want to play along like a politician and you are a bishop or you are a pastor? Obviously, you will not want to do that. Therefore, my advice to our church leaders, let them learn to draw that line between politics and their role to guide the flocks. They should never mix the two, because once they mix the two, they bring ridicule even to the house of God. And that's why right now, even you see people don't believe these people. People question even their loyalty to God. People question whether they are really called to serve or they are called to do other things. So what Margaret Wanjiru, if she wants to take the job, that is her problem. Let her go ahead and take it, because she already messed up when she turned her church into a UDA campaign rally. And if truly she built her church in a land that belongs to Kenya Railway Corporation, then she should not hide behind the church or hide behind her support to Ruto to escape taking responsibility. Because if you grab the land, the law must take its course. We should not hide behind religion. You should not even hide behind your support. Because if you want to have a society where people are accountable for their acts, people are held to account, she should not be an exception. let the law take its course, and let Kenya Railway Corporation reclaim their land if it was acquired illegally. That's my take.
Thank you, Mr. Barak. That was a good analysis of what is really happening. To our viewers, this is Brother Benson Media. If you're new here, kindly like and subscribe to the channel. Here we say that your opinion counts. You can engage us by the comment section, and we will really, really appreciate. Yeah, so something else that I wanted us to talk about is, the president is calling for unity. And on the other side, Gachagua is also telling the people of Kenya that we should pray for him. And so the question is, I don't know if you followed, the president was in Gishu in Moiben constituency. And while in that place, he was actually with so many members of parliament, some of them from ODM party, some of them close allies from UDA, of which some were from Mount Kenya region, the likes of Wanjiru. I don't know. Is it Wanjiru? I remember when they were campaigning and they were saying that UDA, I don't know, na Wanjiru. I don't know. Like I've forgotten his name. But the MP of Wanjiku. I don't know Kawanjiku or Kawanjiku. Yeah. So together with ODM members, and if you watch that clip, Senator of Migori was there, and he said that, you know what, MPs and the whole political party of ODM, they're all behind the president. While the member of parliament of Homa Bay, Wakili Peter Kaluma, he said that, you know what, if Raila succeeds, then Raila is going to hand them over to the president, William Samoei Ruto. On the other side, back there in Mount Kenya, Gachagua is crying and praying so hard that, you know what, we should remember him in prayers before Tuesday, because something is coming on. We are not sure what it is. We are yet to see. And so my question to you is, Mr. Miguda and Barak, what is your take on Ruto's call for unity, while with close allies and also members of ODM telling him that, you know what, we are behind you, and that after Raila goes for AU, Kaluma is telling the president that, you know what, you are going to be handed over to you. What is your take on that, Mr. Miguda?
Thank you so much, Makobura. Mount Kenya, Gachagua is really praying and fasting, intimidating at the slopes of Mount Kenya. It is good for a man. It's good for a man of his time. You know, when temptations comes into your doorsteps, that's when you need to pray, but no, you need to pray without ceasing. The way Jesus Christ was teaching, when he was teaching about the prayer, that my people, I tell you that you pray without ceasing anytime. So Mr. Gachagua does not need to pray at this time. As a Christian and a staunch Christian and a believer and a truthful man, he should pray without ceasing each and every time, because temptations are just with us. Mr. Gachagua is praying in Mount Kenya and asking people to pray for him as well, because she's about to face his fate on Tuesday. And some people are really busy, are really ready for Tuesday. So, you know, when sometimes you are with a lot of dissatisfaction with the regime, some people are really satisfied with that regime. So it is today I'm happy, tomorrow I'm not happy. That's the nature of the politics. So let him pray. We wish him the best as always, because we love our country. We are patriots, and the slogan is, if you love your country, then love your countrymen. Gachagua is our countryman, so we love him so much. Let him pray, and we wish him the best, and as he is currently undergoing his endeavor. Mr. President calling for national unity, that is the one of the role of Mr. President. He is the symbol of national unity as the President of the Republic of Kenya. So he has to call for that unity, and also just to bring each and every person into his administration. But the question is that unity genuine? Because if he's calling for unity, why can't he call even Gachagua? So why is he calling for unity and one of his person is going out of the administration? So that unity is only purposely meant for that context of the ODM UDA, that friendship. And the friendship, it is a new friendship. You met a new girlfriend, they are still bonding. You must take your girlfriend out. You must take her to the slopes of Mount Kenya, Masai Mara. If you are in Kenya, you must take her to a restaurant. Maybe you can buy her chips, chicken, a juice. So when she has given in and she's loyal to you, and it doesn't mean that life will always be that way. You get it, my friend. It doesn't mean that now, they are in romance. They are now bonding in a new relationship. But that's now, it is not, and after sometimes you are bonded, you are used to each other, you know each other. So sometimes there can be some ups, there can be some downs. So they reach to that point, because I don't trust this new friendship, because why are they having conditions? Jesus taught us again that love should be unconditional. Just love somebody without conditions. So they are putting some condition, maybe at if Baba get AUC, we will support you. Baba will hand you over to us. So what if Baba will not get that AUC? Are they not going to be handed over? Are they not going to be? So what next, Baba? So it is somehow of conditional, and also they are saying, okay, we are going to make sure that we get Baba this seat, be with us, and we have seen it is ODM and UDA. They are bonding. It is about 2027. They are charting a new political path, and they have abandoned Mount Kenya. That's why we are seeing people like DOKH, Opondo Kaluma can be given a platform in a UDA forum, ODM people. So going forward, the president is just having a new partner, and they're trying to chart their way forward. But the question will always be, what if Baba will not get this seat? Does it mean that Baba will come back to rearrange his house and also go for that 27 seat to make his last stab? Does it mean that now Baba will carry Ruto'S and tell the people that Ruto Tosha? But the bigger question could be, or the bigger picture is, does it mean that you are voting for William Ruto because Baba's handed you over to William Ruto? Does it mean that you are voting for William Ruto because Baba said Ruto Tosha? Do you have a conscience as a voter? Do you have a sense as an average voter that for me to give Ruto a second term, what are the scorecards of this president? What are his scorecards? What, for the last 5 years, what has he done for the people in terms of maybe infrastructure, in terms of agriculture, in terms of health, in terms of in terms of education? So do we vote, do we elect someone because Baba has endorsed that person? Do we elect someone because someone has assisted Baba to be the AUC chairperson? And this thing of AUC chairperson, this people should not boast for us because they are going to give Baba AUC chairperson, so they are going to get a second term. That is rubbish, because Ruto will only have one vote at AUC elections. He's only having one vote, and he can even decide, because it's a secret ballot. You don't know whether he has voted for Baba or not. There will be no one to verify to us that William Ruto has voted for Baba. He can even vote for that person from Djibouti. Then the candidate from Djibouti, then he will come back and say, okay, I voted for Baba, then Baba lost. No, there is no verification that William Ruto will vote for Baba. So they should not come to the Baba's base and say, okay, because we are going to give Baba a usage person, now re-elect us. No, we are not cows, though there are some people who have proclaimed to be cows. We are not sycophants. Some people proclaim to be sycophants. We will vote for you only if they are scorecards. If you have changed any life of Kenya in terms of education, if you have changed people in terms of agriculture, if you have changed people in terms of health facilities, infrastructure, and also this current pressing crisis we have in this economy, things like introducing of a new funding model of education that's affecting not only the comrades, but also the parents. Introducing this unprecedented finance bill in this country, whereby you are taxing people to death. So personally, me, I cannot re-elect Ruto because Baba has endorsed William Ruto. I can never vote for William Ruto because Baba has gotten a UC chairperson. That is not important and urgent, it doesn't mean whether it's going to be the president or not. I don't care. But as for me, I rather vote for a person who has transformed the country and has the transformative vision for the nation. That one I can vote for him. Even if I'm going to vote for him myself and we are going to be two of us, I rather remain with that person, but so that I'll have at least an upper argument after that with me, I never voted for this person because people, they are being swayed with the wave of the dynamics of the politics and they cry after election. Like currently, the people of Mount Kenya, let me introduce that part because we talk about Kawanchiku, na Wanjiku. Those people, they gave us William Ruto. Then the question is, they want us to assist them to remove William Ruto, but they have an opportunity not to vote for him. Right now, they are trying to merge UDA and ODM so that we can vote for William Ruto. The question could be, if ODM will vote for William Ruto, then after election, they start to crying. They had an opportunity right now to reject him in 2027 because they told us that do not form any coup, do not impeach president, let him not resign. Let us wait for him to go home in 2027. Then the people, you find them at 2027, they are voting in William Ruto as if they were not in the previous regime, as if they were not suffering, as if they never went to demonstration for finance bill, as if they were not crying about new funding model. If you get even comrades who are victims of this new funding model are voting for him under what basis? So even if you have that opportunity at the ballot to elect a leader, not only William Ruto, this cut across all even governors, senators, women rep, MPs and MCAs. Try to apply your conscience. Do not vote on someone because Baba is going to be ASU. So what if I become AUC chairperson? How is that going to transform your life as an ordinary and average voter? That one is just good for the country that we had an AUC chairperson as a representative from Kenya and East Africa, that we at least we have our person there. But it is not that impactful to your life. So let us deal with this issue at the ballot. That is my appeal to the people of Kenya. Let us not, and I dislike this thing of a leader of that caliber. People like Eddie Okech, a young leader, is now telling us that Raila will hand us over to William Ruto as who? So a young person who should be having a new ideas and a new policies to engage this older generation of politicians. So if they have been recruited and they have adopted the old thoughts, they are not subscribing to the old school of thought of politics. Now, what about us? Because they are the people who should be our representatives at the Senate and at the National Assembly. But they have joined the bandwagon. They have joined those people. They are singing the Osana songs with the congregants. So who is going to bring these new thoughts, these new ideas to this younger generation? That's why I'm appealing to the people of Kenya. Let us not put ourselves into a crisis. Then you are inviting those people who are not there to assist you to get out of that crisis. So that is an experience we have had with this regime. So going forward, and we are very serious about this issue. Do not elect a leader, then you are coming to cry to us that Ruto must go. Ruto must go. But you have an opportunity to make him not even to become the president. So next time, if you have an opportunity, kindly, as a law-abiding citizen and a concerned patriot, vote for a leader and apply your conscience and vote for a leader. Do not vote someone because Raila has said torture, or because he has given Raila AUC chairperson, or because he has given you the CS position, or because he has given the energy position, or because they are now want to impeach Wetangula. So that is not working, my friend. Working is not impeaching Wetangula. Working is not impeaching Rigathi Gachagua. Working is not Raila becoming AUC chairperson. We want, let us feel that transformation. We are not feeling any transformation in our economy. So Makubura, I think that could my take, and back to the studio.
Thank you so much to our viewers. This is just but a reminder that You're watching Brother Benson Media, and here we say that your opinion counts. If you're new here, we are requesting you to kindly like and subscribe to the channel, and we will really appreciate. You can engage us at the comment section. If you have any question, just write it there. We will give an answer to it. Yes, Mr. Barak, I wanted to hear your opinion on Gashagwa's plea to the people of Kenya that he's requesting for prayers. Ruto at in my Ben constituency is calling for unity. And around him are ODM members and also UDM members, especially those coming from Mount Kenya. And something that is looking a bit funny is the comments of ODM uh, members of parliament. They're saying that, you know what, if Raila succeeds, he's going to hand us as ODM to you, Mr. President. What is your comment on that?
Well, thank you, Makobura. I think if there's a regime that has been prayed for, and I think even God is now tired with their prayers, is this regime, because they started praying on the day of inauguration. They were prayed by different clergy. I remember Mark Karaoke even prayed for them not even once. They even held prayers at Nyayo Stadium to celebrate their victory. They've been praying and praying and praying. So I don't know which new prayer is this that they want. Because if they are being prayed for like that by the prominent men of God, men and women of God in Kenya, and they ended up misbehaving the way they are misbehaving. So which new prayers are they looking for? It means that this prayers is not genuine and has never been genuine. And when you are mixing prayers with hypocrisy, I can assure you it doesn't work. Even the Bible says that if you have a problem with your brother and you want to go to church to give a sacrifice or an offering, the Bible says that you put that offering aside, you go back and reconcile with your brother first before you come and give that offering. So in basic terms, it means that you cannot purport to be praying, and at the same lips that you are praying with, you are having 1,001 differences with your brothers in your country. So you need to seek peace first. You need to repent. These people have never repented for the sins they've committed in this country, for the blood they have shed in this country since they became in power. When in their first year in office, how many people died in demonstration? More than 75 people. In this second year in office, how many people have died? We have parents who have lost their young children. We have women who have lost their husbands. We have husbands who have lost their wives. We have children who have lost their parents. Have they repented? So are you going to God to pray and your hands are full of human blood that you've shed? Seriously, why are we taking prayers for granted? Why would we think that God can be mocked? God can never be mocked. These people who are praying for these leaders should tell them. They should help them to read and understand the Bible, because there are people who proclaim Christian faith. And Christianity is not based on hypocrisy. It is based on repentance and turning away from your sins and seeking God with a repentant heart. And this hypocrisy that they are making Christianity look like comedy is not going to help them in any way. They are going to face the consequences of their actions, and nobody will save them. They'll have to face those consequences, and they will have to live with them. On the president calling for unity, the president should not be calling for unity only. His actions should be demonstrating that he really wants unity in this country. You cannot be calling for unity, and when you are making appointments, it speaks otherwise. When you are distributing resources, they speak otherwise. Unity is not just saying by word. It is acting, your deeds. And what brings tension in any society is distribution of resources. People will ask question: how did you distribute resources when you are in power? How did you allocate jobs to the people of Kenya? How did you prioritize development projects in Kenya? Those are the things that bring unity, not just going to church and say, we need unity, we need unity. And it's unfortunate that you're listening to Eddie Oketch. You know, Eddie Oketch is one of the youngest leaders we have in this country. He's telling Ruto that even if you don't build roads in this country, even if you don't grow this economy and just leave us with unity, surely where these people are losing their sense of reasoning simply because they have been given 2-3 seats in the cabinet. And you know, it's unfortunate. And sometimes I feel sorry that we have leaders that Kenya should be having hope in, and because of being overexcited because of a few positions that they've been dished to their party, they start now reasoning like people who are in their sunset years, people who don't even care about the future of the country they are living in. It's unfortunate. And the comment by Opondo Kaluma that Raila will hand them over to Ruto, I agree with him, because they are properties of Raila. When he says Raila will hand them over, it means they belong to Raila. That's why they will be handed over like the way they save their cows. You cannot hand over something that does not belong to you. So to them, they are Raila's property. So if Raila succeeds to join AU, Raila will take his property and hand over to Ruto. But this kind of talks, they really demean people from other communities. Because, you know, if this is a lawyer, someone that we brag with, that we have elected a lawyer to represent it in parliament, is the one talking like Kawanjiku. You know, if Kawanjiku talks, I understand Kawanjiku. Kawanjiku, if he talks of any other thing, I understand, because I understand his back. But you know, Pondo Kaluma is a lawyer, someone who is well educated. Seriously, you talk as if you don't even have sense of reasoning. It's unfortunate. If Raila gets the AU seat, good for him, good for the country, because it's going to give the country that that publicity in Africa, that now Kenya has produced and the AUC chairperson. But you know the current AUC chairperson, Mohamed Faki, you know, he comes from Chad, and Chad is one of the the poorest countries in Africa. So it doesn't really have a lot of value to the country, apart from that stature that we have produced. Yeah. But in terms of material gain, it really doesn't have a lot, because if that could have been the case, then I think even the GDP of Chad could have increased since this guy became in office. So we are praying for him to get it, because we are a country he's a candidate of the country. But people should not have a lot of expectation that they will get something very big from it. That is my take.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Barak. I think the last question that I would also want you to give your take on is Martha Karua, together with the former CJ, Willie Mutunga. They're saying that the government should take care of the citizens, and the killings and abductions that they're seeing in this country is not something that is pleasing. It is not something that is good at all. In their press, they're telling the government to protect the people and stop killing and abductions. Recently, we've seen so many people being abducted, so many killings here and there. And you know, that is a threat to the human life in the Republic of Kenya. So my question to you is, what is your comments on the comments of Martha Karua, William Tunga, former CJ, together with so many activists who are saying that the government should ensure that they protect the lives of the people and follow the constitution by respecting the lives. At the same time, on the other side, you know, there's scramble for jobs, and with the help of government and also with the help of Cabinet Secretary Mr. Mutua, you know, they're sending people to the Middle East as others are being killed, others are being abducted in the Republic. So my question to you is this really helping taking the people of Kenya? I know we commented on this yesterday, and so my question to you is it good for the government under this leadership that we are seeing many people being killed, being abducted, at the same time they're taking some of Kenyans to the Middle East? Is that how a government should operate, Mr. Miguda?
Chief Justice Emeritus Dr. William Tunga and NAC party leader Martha Karua, they are condemning with the highest term possible the abduction and the killing of the people of Kenya. To be precise, the people of Kenya are being killed left, right, and center, and people of Kenya are also being abducted. And this issue of abducting Kenyans, we don't know who is abducting Kenya. We don't know where this issue originates, because what it is nowadays abducting person is normal. It's a normal in the Kenya. I don't know. Even me, sometimes I walk, but I don't walk alone. Anytime me, you can't walk alone because we don't know who can abduct you. So I must have some people behind me who are taking pictures. In case I'm abducted, it can go to social media so I can be found. Because and even sometimes I've even had I had my tactics in case, because we don't know when you can be abducted, at what time, by who, because we are not safe as a country. This issue of abduction should not be there. I do not be living in my country with fear. I should not be living in my country with some people. I must have. I can't even walk alone. You understand? Always me. I have how I deal, how I operate, because I even advise my co-panelists, Makubura, that you need to be alert because you don't know, because they are abducting people left, right. So this issue of abduction, I fail to understand where it originates and who is this master of this abduction, because it should end. And I like what Martha Karua and CJ Emeritus Mutunga are doing, because with them they swore to protect, uphold, and defend the Constitution as advocates of the High Court of Kenya by then. And one of the ways of defending the Constitution is to ensure that you advocate for that freedom and fundamental rights of the people of Kenya, because we have that freedom of movement, association, speech. It is not it's not limited whereby if you incite someone to war, or if propaganda to violence, or maybe you spread hatred. But why do you abduct someone with baseless allegations? So I think we should find out, even if we can go to demonstration to demonstrate against abduction, because it is now becoming a normal thing in this country. We never grew with abduction. Even during the time of Moi Kibaki, that is the time when we were growing up with most of my age group. We never had things like these abductions. So it is now normal with this era of internet, this era of where people are more advanced in technology. So you are exposing yourself as a government, because why do you abduct people? That thing is rubbish, and it should be stopped with immediate effect. Even me, I condemn it. I do not want this issue of abduction. The issue of killing people, we have said here time without number that you don't need to take someone's life, even if it is a political context. Even if you have that heart, even if you are heartless, if you don't need to take someone's life because of a simple context of politics. And if you look at those people who are being killed, those who are harmless, women, they are being killed. Why do you take someone's life? You don't need to take someone's life because for what reason? What do you gain by this taking someone's life in terms of things to do with politics? Just compete on the basis of policies, ideologies, and when your opponent is smarter than you, let him or her. You will have your day one day. So those issue of killing Kenyans, abducting Kenyans, these are things that we are experiencing with this current regime, and it is unfair. It's unfair for someone who's calling for national unity. It's unfair for someone who's calling for independence of institution. It's unfair for someone who purport to be the super president with the super majority in the house. And his regime, people are being, and sometimes I blame the communication team, because there was a time Rigathi Gachagua was telling us that Mr. President is being told that there is no abductions, that there are no abductions. So it means that The people who are supposed to brief Mr. President, the NIS, the people who are supposed to update him, are misupdating him, are misadvising him, because they're telling Mr. President there are no abductions. So Mr. President is believing that there are no abductions, but there are abductions. There are killings of Kenyans. That's why CJ Emeritus has come out to condemn that act together with the senior counsel Martha Karua, because they have been in these trenches for so long, and their voice can be heard even with the international human rights activists. So the Kenyans should live freely. We cannot celebrate our constitution that we are even impeaching a deputy president, that we are putting our constitution into a test, into action. But we don't want to condemn this killing of Kenyans, abducting of Kenyans, and they're abducting those people who are helpless, and the women. To something they are killing them. This issue should stop, Marco Brandi. We should look away whereby we can advocate for this issue that stop abduction and stop killing Kenyans. And we can even create placards. We can even go to demonstration to stop, because it's not good for the country, because we are unsafe. I told that even me, nowadays, I can't walk alone. I must be having maybe 2 people behind me. So they look after me in case anything goes south. I can be recorded, and maybe you can find whereabouts of me. I don't want to be done the way they did to Denzel. You know what happened to Denzel, the fallen comrade? That is very wrong, and we don't want it to happen in this country. And as any activist, any lawyer, any advocate should condemn that one, because we should condemn it, and any Kenyan should condemn it. That issue of abduction should come to an end, Marco Bura. The issue you have asked me, the second one, issue of the rejoined, the issue of unemployment. Yeah, Kenyans, the government should create the opportunities to its citizens, because that is why they were elected. Some of us, or some of the comrades who elected that regime, they were having that hope that they will create jobs for us. Now they have come to power. There are no jobs. They are exporting labor. So we don't want to go, not that we don't want to work outside, but we are experienced and we are skilled to work for our country. The much skill we have, we should do it better for our people, for our country. Why do we export our best labor to foreigners? And we can't use it here back at home? The government, it's just simple. There's no shortcut about it. We have to live the reality. We are in crisis as a country. This issue of unemployment is a bigger crisis in this country, because we have ended up with more graduates, more skilled people, but there is no employment. Now
Why, sorry, Mr. Miguda, I think his network maybe is not very stable. If he gets back, he'll proceed. Mr. Barak, what is your take on the call by Honorable Karua, as former CJ Emeritus Mutunga? They're telling the government to investigate and stop the killings and abductions which are happening in this country. You know, the same government is exporting labor to Middle East. In Qatar, 3,000 jobs were advertised, and more than 200 people went for these interviews. Unfortunately, the people who went are also saying that there's corruption in this, in that process. You know, some of them are saying that, you know, the people who are concerned are asking for bribes, and that the whole interview process is also not, open. What is your take, Mr. Barak?
Thank you so much, Mark. I think it's unfortunate that we are having a government that is presiding over abduction and killing of Kenyans. You know, this thing started under the previous regime, the Uhuruto regime. That you remember when you remember the lawyer Willy Mwangi, who was adopted with his client and the taxi driver, and they were killed and dumped at Oldonyo Sambuk River. You remember even I don't know if he's called Mwangi Bijiwe, that security expert analyst who disappeared, and up to date nobody knows who is where about. You remember the bodies that were being collected at Rivayala during Uhuru's regime, and so many people. Even the Somali guy who was arrested, adopted at Clavington, and his body was retrieved from Kirinyaga, in a river in Kirinyaga during Uhuru regime. So Ruto, when he was opposition leader at the same time the deputy president, he really condemned these issues. And even when in his interview, I think even when he was being inaugurated, he said that Kenya will never again undergo through such a trauma of seeing people being killed and dumped in rivers and being adopted and so forth. But I think he has now perfected this, because right now it's a norm, and it's unfortunate because Kenyans, Ruto managed to, Ruto is one of the politicians who are very smart, because he managed to hoodwink people that he's an opposition leader while receiving salary as a deputy president, and he went to election as a deputy president, but people voted for him because they wanted a change. Kenya, sometimes we are not serious. And you expect that person who has been a deputy president for 10 years to bring change and transform the ills and mistakes that the government he was serving as the second in command brought upon yourself. And even this thing is even bringing a debate in the US right now, because they're asking Kamala Harris, you are a vice president in this regime, and we're having issues with Biden's regime. What difference are you going to bring when you become the president? So those are the questions that Kenyans could have asked William Ruto when he wanted to become the president. But people voted because of emotions, and now the results of emotions are what we are now witnessing. Adoptions and killings of Kenyans, it is against the fundamental rights that we enjoy in this country: right to life, right to fair trial. Those are fundamental rights in a democratic society. And once the government is violating these fundamental rights, that's not a government that cares about even serving the people. Because the primary role of the government in any state is to protect the lives of its citizens. That is the primary role of the government. And when the government fails to protect the lives of its citizens, then even it loses that legitimacy of being a government. That is why even if you commit a crime, there's a process of arresting you and taking you through the courts of law for a fair trial. And we have all those structures laid down in the Constitution. So when the government is going against the laid down procedures of dealing even with people who have committed crimes, and now adapting them at night or even during the day, even knocking down their doors at night and taking them out forcefully, and before you know it, others are found dumped in the river, others are dumped along the roadside. Are we really living in a democratic society? I don't think so, because we are violating the basic principles of democracy: respect to human rights. It's unfortunate, and I agree with the with the former CJ Mutunga, and also Nana Kenya leader Martha Karua. These are people who suffered the same things under Moi regime. They understand the trauma that people go through when they're adopted. They understand the experience. It's not something that you could wish the young people to go through, because they went through this when they were young, in 70s and 80s, and this thing is coming again to repeat itself into 2020s. It is not good. It's not a good thing for Kenya. This thing should be happening in different countries, but not in Kenya. In fact, not under the new constitution, Because this new constitution has a very robust Bill of Rights that protects the citizen from such kind of action from the state. So every Kenyan of goodwill must condemn this with the highest term possible, because it's not good for us as a country. It's not even good for us as human rights, in our human rights record as a country, and it's not good for any democratic society. In terms of unemployment, if you look at the people who turned up to be interviewed by this Qatar, by the Ministry of Labor, Alfred Mutua, these are not just the young people. These are men and women who have families. You saw many people are in their 40s. This shows you how the unemployment problem is real in this country. It's no longer about the young people only. It's about, like, majority of the society. People don't have jobs. And you saw even those who are complaining that they've been turned away because of the age. The age is past the age that is required. The problem is real. Kenyans are suffering. The role of the government is to provide employment with citizens. If they cannot provide employment, they create a conducive environment for the members of for their citizens to create employment for themselves. If they are unable to create employment, because the government cannot employ everybody, but they can create a conducive environment for the citizens to create employment for themselves by availing cheap credit, subsidizing production, even waiving some taxes for infant businesses or infant industries. That is what serious governments does, to ensure that your people are actively involved in things that are economically production to themselves, so that even government can also gain some revenue. But when the government is exporting labor to the Middle East, I don't know how they are going to benefit, or Kenyans are going to pay taxes to Kenyan government when they are working in the Middle East. I'm not sure. Because when the government creates opportunities locally, it even raises their revenues. But when you export labor to a foreign land, these guys are going to pay taxes to the Qatari government, because that's where they're going to work. And you know the issue of the corruption. These jobs in the Middle East are normally managed by these agencies, and now the government has taken over, and I think they are losing out. So they have to come in and try to infiltrate and try to take advantage, because many people have turned out. They only need 3,000 people, and if you look at the masses who came, they are more than even 10,000, and majority of them are desperate to get those jobs. So in that environment of desperation, obviously conmen will take advantage of that, and if you are not careful enough, you will lose some coins there trying to get a job, and along the way you lose double, because you'll later get the job and you will have lost money. So I just want to appeal to our fellow countrymen not to be vigilant and to be careful, so that they don't be vulnerable to be exploited by this conmen pretending to be connected to either the Ministry of Labor or to the minister himself or to any other way, so that even if you don't get the job, at least you've not lost your money to conmen. So it's unfortunate that this is happening in this country. It is a wake-up call to this government that Kenyans are suffering. Kenyans don't have job. They don't have means to be economically productive to themselves. It is time to get to work, create jobs for Kenyans, create a conducive environment to enable Kenyans to create jobs for themselves. Stop using KRA to harass those who are starting businesses, those startups. KRA should be there to encourage economic growth, not to discourage Kenyans from starting up their own businesses. That is my take.
Thank you, Mr. Barak. To our viewers, this is Brother Benson Media, and here we say that your opinion counts. All we do here is we are trying to remind the people of Kenya of where we are. We're trying to give solutions to what we are experiencing as a country. And if you have your say, you're also invited to comment. You can give us your opinion via the comment section. And if you also have a question, you can write it over there. We will answer the question. So we're not really here to negatively talk about government. No, we are here to just remind the people in leadership that they have a role to play, they have a people to take care of. They swore to respect and to follow a constitution. So that is what we are doing here as a channel. If you're new here, we are requesting you to kindly like and subscribe to the channel. We really need the subscription. We really need that support. We will really appreciate if you subscribe. You can share with your friends, your brothers, sisters. You can tell them about Brother Benson Media and what we do as a channel. We will really, really appreciate. Mr. Miguda, sorry, I don't know what happened. I wanted to give you a chance to finish what you were saying before I give my last question to you, my panelist.
Okay, to finish my point, which at some point I broke. I will say that when I was traveling to some part of this country, I met one of our, we were in the same vehicle, and we were debating on this issue of unemployment. Then someone told me that, you know what, my younger brother, the problem was we ended up with many graduates and there was no planning. So there was no proper planning that even though we had a free primary education, which was introduced by Mwai Kibaki regime in 2002, but there was no end product of this free primary education. We ought to have planned it from the conception of free primary education to the very end of employment, and we could have got it in right as a country. So that's what I wanted to introduce in our discussion, that one of Kenyans told me that could be the problem. We ended up with so many people who are educated, skilled, but there's no job for them.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Miguda. I think something else that I wanted us to talk about before we close the show is the issue of the National Assembly Speaker, Mr. Moses Masika Wetangula. Mr. Moses Masika Wetangula, there are some rumors that is going to be get out. And I just wanted to read something here, maybe before we proceed. You know, there has been so many things in the social media, and so people are having different opinion when it comes to the issue of one Moses Masika Wetangula. So I just wanted to read this, and I quote: "There was a leaked recordings at the center of the removal of one Moses Masika Wetangula, and it goes that the National Assembly Speaker Moses Wetangula is at the center of a brewing political storm following revelations of a secret conversation with a second-term member of parliament from Rift Valley. According to insiders, Wetangula allegedly discussed William Samoei Ruto and his deputy were forced to resign during the height of the Gen Z's demonstration. Wetangula had reportedly foreseen Gen Z protesters overrunning State House, and similar to how they stormed Parliament, where he had to be rescued in an ambulance. At the heart of a controversy in the claim that Wetangula had tried to recruit members of Parliament as his deputy. Should the president and his deputy be ousted, he explained to the member of parliament that under the constitution, he was next in line for leadership and would serve as an interim president for 2 months before calling an election. Wetangula further suggested that with no independent electoral and boundaries commission in place, holding elections would be impossible, allowing them to remain in power until the country stabilized. And then unknown to Wetangula, the private conversations was allegedly recorded and transmitted to President Ruto. Sources claim that his room had been bugged and several of his conversations with various political leaders were being taped. The recording of this secret discussion is now reportedly at the center of the push to remove Wetangula from his position as Speaker of the National Assembly. The revelation has sparked a significant political crisis, with President Ruto's camp viewing Wetangula's actions as a betrayal. The leaked recording has led to growing movement among MPs and political leaders pushing for Wetangula's removal, accusing him of plotting against the government and scheming to take over power. End of quote. That is a rumor. We will still treat it as a rumor until the day that we'll hear it. I mean, such comments being talked about in the parliament. Yeah, so, I think you've heard of that. And there's a serious movement that is coming, and Wetangula might be thrown out of that seat in the near coming days. And so my question to my panelist is, what is your take from what I've read? Does it really make sense? Does it look like something that is truthful? Maybe before you give your comments, allow me to take this opportunity to say thank you to our own Gypsy Corner. Gypsy Corner has been supporting us as a channel, and we really thank you so much for your consistent support. We really appreciate. Tumeshukuru sana, thank you. And as a channel, we really appreciate. Thanks for your consistent support. I can see Kilonzo is also saying that Middle East is a hostile zone for Kenyans because Ruto stands with Israel and Israel is hated in the area. Okay, Mr. Miguda, first, from what I've just read about what is befalling the speaker, what is your comment?
What you have read about the circumstances surrounding the rumors of impeaching Moses Wetangula, I don't want to delve into it much, because the more you delve into it, the more you create more rumors, and you create room for more rumors, which you have not even verified. So there's no authenticity of that information. It is not even there nor here. It's like abracadabra, whereby you do not, someone is maybe shouting or making some noise that there's a certain there's certain waterfalls, but when you turn back to that waterfall, there's no waterfall. So it's something that it's very difficult to discuss, but let me give it let me deal with it as a rumor. But remember that in politics, rumors they're just true. Those rumors, you must take a lot of cautious, because those rumors they actually came to be actualized. So you do not need to say that they are rumors. The issue of Wetangula, my worry is only one. Why is that these leaked videos, they only happen when they want to impeach somebody? So do you want to say that Wetangula was only recorded once? So that means that he has only spoken once. Wetangula has been speaking. So it's not, where are those other recordings? Where are those other tapes? Why can't they leak those recordings? So that's why I think that there's some mischief in it, because if Wetangula could have been recorded, why are they only selecting it specifically that it was recorded when he was discussing Mr. President about this regime, the terms, the IBC? Where are other leaks? Where are the recordings? Because Wetangula has been speaking even in funerals, he has been speaking in boardrooms, he has been speaking in the speaker panel, even if you go to Parliament, National Assembly, he has been having some meetings in room 9. So we need those more recorded leaks of Wetangula. No, let them not bring these recordings when they want to impeach somebody, because even they say that Rigathi Gachagua was being recorded when he was at Acacia Hotel. So it means that if he has been recorded or they were being recorded, it is not only once. There must be several recordings because they want this information. So I don't know how some people create their case. I don't know how some people make their case. Some people might make their case based on maybe those abracadabra, but that is not a proof in the court of law that you can prove that indeed it was recorded. Because if at all that somebody was pre-recorded, there must be several events. So let them bring those events of recording Wetangula. So that of recording Wetangula, I cannot delve into it. But let me give it two views. One, people say that Wetangula, they want to impeach Wetangula so that it can be elevated to another position. You know, when we were trying to engage the members of the public about this impeachment process, people have different opinions. Some are saying that they want to elevate teams, that someone is going home somewhere in the government, so they want to put Wetangula into that position because he got those qualifications, he got those experience. So they want to elevate him to that position as he leave this seat of speaker to another person. That is a rumor also. Even if the government had their rumor, we the people also have our rumor. And our rumor is telling us that, or let me be specific. Our intel we are receiving right now is telling us that Wetangula, they want to elevate him to a higher position more than that of the speaker because someone is going home very soon. So Wetangula is going somewhere. That's why Wetangula is even making more propaganda and more rumors about himself being impeached because he knows that he's going somewhere. That's our intel we are receiving right now. So they want to put him somewhere, and also they want to introduce a new speaker. The other one is this issue of Wetangula cannot do away with Ford Kenya Party because that has been his kiosk. That now they are compelling him that if you don't want to do away with this for Kenya, we are going to kick you out of this administration. So either you fall for Kenya or you go out. So Wetangula said that I can't do away with my small kiosk. This is where I've been getting my daily bread. Therefore, I rather lose this administration, but I continue getting my daily bread on this kiosk. But Wetangula, if that is at all how he's reasoning, or that is at all that the point of argument, then he's losing the point. Because, in that Bungoma alone, I know of 3 MPs who are not elected under Fort Kenya. People like John Waluke from Webuye West, I don't know Webuye East or Webuye West, but Webuye, be it East or West, John Waluke is an affiliate of UDA. Didmas Baraza of Kimilili, an affiliate of UDA. John Makali, and I want to make this correction, not ODM, DAP Kenya. John Makali, Kandui constituency from Bungoma, DAP. So almost I know 3 MPs from same Bungoma who are not affiliate of Ford Kenya. So is small kiosk, why can't he just do away with it? Because he's not even commanding the very region is calling Bungoma, because he has lost 3 people to other affiliated political parties. So Wetangula, I don't know how it will unfold, but maybe let us view that there's somewhere they want to elevate him, and also there is how they are compelling him to do away with Ford Kenya so that they can manage to create a Western alliance, more of a Western alliance. They don't want this issue of Wetangula and Mudavadi being 2 kingpins in Western. They want a one-point man to command the Western region, the former Western province. So they are trying to create this Western alliance. It's still in play, and let us wait and see. But also, we had our very intel, which we have received that this afternoon, around 6 p.m., that they want to elevate him to a certain higher position of the Speaker of the National Assembly because someone is going home and they are going to replace him with someone within that house. Back to you in studio, Makubura.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Miguda. Barak, there's a statement that I read. just wanted to hear your opinion on that, and then maybe we'll call it a day.
Thank you so much. Let me inform my brother Miguda that John Makali is an MP there's a member of parliament for Ford Kenya. He defeated the leader of DAP, the chairman of DAP, that was Wafula Omunyinyi. If you remember, Wafula Omunyinyi was they are the people who tried to overthrow Wetangula. And they when Wetangula stood firm, they formed DAP, and John Makali defeated him. He's a member of Ford Kenya. So, so my opinion on this issue is that they say that if you want to kill a dog, you give it a bad name. And or when a hyena wants to eat his children, they say that they are smelling like goats or sheep. So you cannot miss out to find a fault in anybody if you want to deal with them. So these recordings that are resurfacing, I even saw a recording of Raila Odinga speaking about against Wetangula resurfacing. Then that recording was done long time ago, but people want to make it look like it was just the other day. Now when this issue of impeachment started, so people will come up with any narrative to kick you out of office. And because nobody is clean in this country. And again, according to our constitution, the Speaker of the National Assembly is the third in command. If you look at the hierarchy of power, the president, the deputy president, the speaker, then the chief justice. Even the Speaker of Senate doesn't appear anywhere. So if you want to elevate Wetangula, then it means maybe you want to make him a deputy president or a president, because there's no higher post than the National Assembly Speaker. And the reason why I'm doubting these rumors very much is because, when we say that Ruto change your cabinet, Ruto sent his cabinet packing and retained those who were elected and resigned to join his cabinet. And remember, Wetangula was also elected a senator for Bungoma, and he resigned from being a senator to as a speaker. So it means they must have agreed very well before because once you resign from being a member of parliament, be it in Senate or National Assembly, and you commit yourself to a job that is based on you are at the mercies of your boss, and the boss tomorrow wakes up and kicks you out, it will not go well with you and your supporters. So I think these are rumors that should be treated as rumors. But if it's actualized, I can assure you, it will have a lot of consequences from the lawyer community, especially Bungoma County. You remember John Makali is the one who defeated Sifuna in Kandui 2017, when John Makali was vying in an ODM ticket, and Sifuna came to Nairobi in 2017, and he tried his luck as a senator for the first time, and he lost. So if you look at the conversation that have been there when Wetangula was removed from the minority seat in 2018, and if you look at the support that ODM has been receiving from the lawyer community, the ODM has been the biggest beneficiary of the lawyer votes. And if you look at how ODM has been treating these lawyer leaders, you remember in 2022, Tim Wanyonyi was the most preferred candidate for the gubernatorial seat of Nairobi. But because ODM was in some kind of a marriage with Jubilee, ODM spoiled that opportunity for Tim Wanyonyi, and they ended up supporting someone who never had the blessing of the people of Nairobi. That is Polycarp Igathe. And that is how Tim Wanyonyi and ODM lost Nairobi to UDA. And there are some people who said, this is our son. And they had removed Wetangula from the minority seat, and come 22, they denied Wetangula's brother an opportunity to vie on ODM's ticket in Nairobi. And Tim Wanyonyi was forced to go back to Westlands and vie as a member of parliament. And I can assure you, even right now, Tim Wanyonyi remains to be the most preferred candidate to be the governor of Nairobi, if elections are held free and fair, without any this political interference. Now, if you look at also the numbers of the ODM has lost in Bungoma County, there are many. There are sometimes that ODM had more than 4 members of parliament from Bungoma County. Right now, they have 0 from Bungoma County. That is how a party reduces their numerical strength in the nation, in parliament, and even in the county assemblies. So if ODM is going to be used by Ruto to replace Wetangula in the National Assembly as the speaker, and Wetangula goes home empty-handed, I can assure you, ODM is going to pay for this, because by losing Luya votes come the general election 2027. Even Sifuna, who is the SG of ODM, is not going to convince the people of Bungoma and vote for him again. Because in Nairobi, we have a big voting block of the lawyer community. You can't take that away from them. We have a big block of lawyer community in Nairobi who are always voting for ODM. That's why ODM has been getting Dagoretti North seat and Westland seats, because these are areas that are predominantly the Luya voting blocks. And even if you go to Western Kenya, leave alone Busia, where we have so many Luos and Luyas who are supporting ODM, Bungoma County was once a strong base of ODM, but they messed it up. And if they take this seat away from Wetangula, I can assure you, it's not going to be business as usual with the Western as a whole. And even yesterday I said, even Musalia Mudavadi cannot purport to convince the people of Bungoma that they will vote for Ruto if they remove Wetangula from the seat, because he's going to attract a lot of sympathy from his people. And Kenyan with sympathy, when a leader is being mistreated, they know how to sympathize with him. You see how Gachagua is gaining sympathy. And when the politicians are mistreated, they go to church, and they can even lead praise and worship, and they even lead in hymns just to attract sympathy. You remember even Ruto was leading hymns during his tribulation when he was the deputy president. Eh? And he used to, and Kenyans sympathize with you, and they will want, let election come and we'll vote for you. They don't even care about your manifesto. They don't care about your capacity to lead. They only sympathize with, and they want to reward you by voting for you. So I hope it is just rumors, because it's going to create unnecessary tension. And even Ruto, I don't think Ruto want to create a lot of enemies, because he has already created an enemy in Gachagua. He goes ahead and creates an enemy in Wetangula, and you don't even know who will be next. By the time 2027 comes, he will have nobody to stand with him, especially those who stood with him in 2022. That's my take.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Barak. There's a question here from Gypsy Corner asking one last question. How many positions is Ruto allowed to create within his presidency? I'll give you a chance to answer that, each of you. And maybe something else that, after answering that, something else that I want to give your opinion on is the swearing in of the deputy president. Soon we are expecting to see Professor taking the leadership of being sworn in as the deputy president. So my question to you is, when should we expect that? And again, something else is, should he take that position? Should he got sworn in? What can he do and what should he not do so that he will not end up being impeached or having problems with with the president? And also, I just wanted to also remind you guys that I think the KCC and the KCPE are on. I'll also give you a chance, as you'll be finishing, to say, a word of congratulations or good wishes to our candidates. Yeah, so Mr. Miguda, you go first.
To begin with the question of our good friend, Jepsakona Goodyear. Jepsakona Goodyear asks a very good question, but I don't know the way you frame it, because the president does not create any position because the president is limited with the constitution. He cannot create any position. The positions he can appoint people or nominate is limited within the constitution, and the president can appoint cabinet secretaries. The president can also appoint permanent secretaries. The president can also appoint advisors. The president can also appoint state officers. And finally, the president can also appoint ambassadors and high commissioners, and is limited within the constitution. He cannot create his own position and appoint his own appointment. Those are limited with the constitution, and he cannot contravene that constitution. The second question you have asked about the issue of, I think, let me go to the issue of KCSE and KCPE. The issue of KCSE and KCPE to our younger, I don't know, Gen Alpha or some Gen Zs are still in high school. I do not know, but I think Gen Alpha. To our Gen Alpha, we wish you success in your ongoing exams. And also we wish you all the best, because we were there and we were part and product of that KCPE, those who are doing it. And we are also part and product of that KCSE we are in with the exclusion of the CBC and KEPSEA. So do not have any much tense, do not have any much worry. Just exams, just like it's just like what you have been taught in class, and you'll just pass. People have been there, they pass exams, and we are here. So all the best, also the success to our younger generation. Makubura, I haven't gotten your second question because of maybe they were too much, but I think if you can bring it on, I'll answer it.
About the deputy president being sworn in and what he should do,
okay,
what he should not do.
Thank you. Thank you for that reminder. It was a very interesting question, so I could have not left it without answering it. You know, when we want to inaugurate a new deputy president, the events are similar with that inauguration of the president, because the president and the deputy president are being inaugurated jointly in a public place. So there is no much there's no much contrast of the two. They're just similar. The swearing in of the president and that of the deputy president, and there are those things. There are those culture that must be maintained. The spirit of constitutionalism must prevail when we are swearing in our deputy president. So we expect similar event and similar activities that we saw during the swearing in of President Uhuru Kenyatta, former, and Deputy President William Ruto in 2013 and 2017, respectively, and also the way we witnessed the swearing in of Mr. William Ruto in 2022. We do not expect any contrast between those events, because those are the tradition of our constitution and our culture. They must prevail in whatever circumstances. So in case that Kithure Kindiki will be sworn in case it happens, they have their way, we expect to see the presence of our Chief Justice and also the Registrar of Judiciary, who is going to officiate that oath. And we expect to hear that speech of the oath of office, which is in the Constitution. We expect to hear things like upholding, protecting, defending the Constitution. And we expect to see a multitude member of the public in a public place, not in state house or judiciary or parliament. It should be in a public place. So the events are similar. Then to finish on your final question, you said that what if is impeached? I don't think, we have said here at time that number that impeachment is a political process. So it's up to them to initiate it. They can fail to initiate it, or they can decide to initiate it. That is now their a discretion. Whether they are going to initiate for this new deputy or not is up to them. This is a political process. They can wake up in the morning and make their decision whether it is going home or not. So that is their own discretion, and so I can't promise that it can be impeached or not. What I can promise that if at all it can be confirmed that if the new deputy president, as per the tradition of our constitution and our laws, the swearing in are similar to that of the president, then he assumes the duties of the deputy president immediately, so that is the principal assistant to the president, and he can also act on any assigned role through executive order from the president. That is much I can give to our viewers. Thank you, Makobura. Back to you in the studio.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Beguda. Barak, what's your take on the questions that I've asked? First is this one here from Gypsy Corner. Where is it? This one here, and then when we should maybe expect the new deputy president, and what should he do and what should he not do, so that we don't see similar dramas that we saw with the deputy Gachagua and the president. And also, while finishing, just you can also get time to say something to our candidates, the KCSE, KCPE, KEPSA, I don't know what, those ones, yeah.
Thank you so much, Mark. I think this question on how many positions the Russo are allowed to create within his presidency, I believe my brother Migud has really answered it well. So I'll allow me, please, to jump it. And in terms of also the deputy president who is coming in, Professor Kithure Kindiki, I think maybe the only difference that can happen in his swearing in is we will not see a multitude of people the way we are used to seeing people filling the Kasarani Stadium, because I don't think people are really enthusiastic and interested in that swearing in, unless they import people from somewhere. And may also some guest heads of states, because number one, they must do it in a public place. The first I heard, it was supposed to do it at Ulinzi Sports Complex, and that is former Uru Gardens, which is a public place, or because Kasarani, I believe, is under construction. Or they can even do it at KICC, also public place, but it must not be after 2 p.m. because I think they're trying to do that so that nobody will go to court and complain that they did not follow the laid down procedure in the Constitution, because they've been very careful with how they are conducting this issue, so that once Kithure is sworn in, he will serve. And you know, Kithure Kindiki is a very loyal man, and he understands Ruto very well. So I believe they will work closely, hopefully until 2027, because you know, no matter how much we talk about everything, but you know, once you have a boss, your boss demands loyalty from you, and once you are not loyal to your boss, obviously you will not have a good working relationship. And you know, as long as we are still having a deputy president who believes that he shares some executive powers with the president, we'll always continue having problems. Because you know, when Ruto came in with the Ruto, this like they were co-presidents. Ruto felt that he was sharing some executive powers with the president, and that is what brought conflict between the two. You know, power is not shared; power is delegated. And once someone feels that you are sharing power with them, they will always treat you with a lot of hostility, because power world over is not shared; it is delegated. And that's why even if you look at the Nusumkati government between Raila and Kibaki, there was a lot of conflict between those. They were supposed to be sharing power, and at one time Kibaki felt, but I'm the head of state and government, and you are just an ex-prime minister who, apart from appointing half of the cabinet, there was nothing much that Raila did, because constantly he was being undermined by Kibaki's handlers and Kibaki. And even sometimes Kibaki tried to use Kalonzo to undermine him in parliament. And that's why Marende took over that position that they were fighting for, so that he could stabilize, he could create some balance of power between the two. So power, when the president, who is the head of state and government, you feels that the deputy president will also share some power with him, always as a human being, because power is so sweet to be shared. So they will always bring problems between the two. So Kindiki, I know how he has worked before. He's someone who is so loyal, and he understands that the only currency in politics is loyalty. And if you're not loyal, you'll be kicked out. So he will be loyal. He has proven to be loyal to his boss. And I hope he will be loyal to the end of this term. Because one of the first thing that he was not elected together with Ruto the way during election. So that also makes him a lesser deputy president in terms of politics. If you try to misbehave, you will be reminded that you were not even elected. So conduct yourself properly. You know how politicians know how to remind others when they are misbehaving. So I believe, and going forward, I hope that we are going to have deputy presidents who are going to behave themselves, knowing that they are deputizing the president. They are not equal, or they are not sharing power. Once you understand that power is delegated, it's not shared, you will work very well with the president. Even if you look at mature democracies, vice presidents or deputy presidents don't behave as if they are sharing power with the presidents. They behave knowing very well that what I'm doing is delegated. Anything that I'm enjoying is delegated. It's not shared. Yeah, you understand? So that you can have a cordial working relationship with your boss, so that you can serve together as a team, not wanting to take credit from your boss and you are serving together with him. That cannot work in politics. So, because politics is all about power. That's my take on that. And I hope they're going to work together, and so that they will not have anyone to blame come 2027 when they are coming back to Kenyans to seek for a second term. Because, you know, once people are having wrangles, you are giving them an opportunity to come to blame each other during election. They are saying, I didn't work because of so and so was disturbing me. We want them to work together in harmony, so that come 2027, they will not have to point fingers at any quarters, but unto themselves. In terms of those candidates who are doing exam, I just want to remind you that we don't have KCE. It was done last year. So from this year, we only have KCSE and KPSEA. KPSEA is grade 6 and KCE is Form 4. So we don't have KCP candidates from this year on going forward, unless they reintroduce in the future. So I wish them all the best. Someone told me when I was going to do my KCSE that success is not wished, it's earned. So if you worked hard, you will earn that success. So we wish them all the best. They worked hard for the 4 years they've been in school, the 12 years they've been in school, the 6 years they've been in school. And now it is time just to take it easy and confront those papers. Just as Miguda said, many millions of Kenyans have gone through the same process, and they are here, they are doing so many good things, and others who did not take their time very well, things didn't work out well for them. So if you invested your time very well and you understood why you went to school, we are very sure that you're going to make it. So we wish you all the best, and we are looking forward to celebrating with you when you receive your results, hopefully in December. But I know the Ministry of Education these days is very lazy. They might even go up to next year before they declare the results, which is unfortunate. You know, Matiang'i had raised the bar that before you go for Christmas, you have your result. But since this guy was called Machogu came in the ministry, I think we went up to next year before knowing the result. And now Ogamba he was the deputy of Machogi. So I don't know what we expect, but we hope that our students are going to perform very well, and we are going to see them join universities and colleges for further studies. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Maybe before I give my last remarks, allow me to take this opportunity to thank all our viewers. We really, really appreciate. Thanks for taking your time to be with us. We don't take it for granted, and we are pleading with you to always come when whenever we have a show. You can engage us. If you're new, we are still asking you to kindly like and subscribe to the channel, and we will really appreciate. Mr. Miguda, your last remarks before we close, and then Barak will also give his.
Okay, my final thought. My final thought could be, I'm very much perplexed and shocked with this issue of abduction and killing of Kenyans. And that could be my roundup in this session. And let us, because my life is at risk, your life is at risk, our life is at risk, Kenya's lives are at risk, all of us. So if you don't come out and shout about it, if you don't come out and talk about it, you are not safe. All of us are unsafe because they are abducting and killing people left, right, and center. So let us come out and condemn this issue. Because now they have turned us to be some of us who dislike Liverpool. They have turned us Liverpool, the football in England, United Kingdom. They have turned us to be the fans of Liverpool. The slogan, "I'll never walk alone." You must walk with someone beside you because you don't know at what time they're going to abduct you. And today, Liverpool, at least they walk with Arsenal. It was 2-2. So they walk with someone. So government of Kenya, let us. We don't need to work with other people. Let us not be Liverpool who do not like to walk alone. Some of us like to walk alone. So let us walk alone. Let us don't turn us to be Liverpool fans. Some of us hate Liverpool when I say that we don't want to use their slogans that we must be given company wherever we are going. To our viewers, thank you so much for tuning in, and we love all of you so very much for enjoying the show and also giving us much support. And we appreciate. We have not taken for granted. And see you next time. Bye bye.
Mr. Barak, what would you want to tell the people of Kenya and our viewers?
Thank you so much, Mark. I want to tell our viewers that no matter what we discuss, no matter what is going on in our country, let us remember that this is the only country that we have. We must work hard to change this country, to make it a better place for all of us and for our children and our generations, so that when the time for us to leave this place comes, we will leave it a better place. We will not leave it the way we found it. So let us be vigilant, let us be steadfast, let us be focused, and ensuring that we hold the government in power to account, so that together we create a better country for all of us. Thank you so much for taking time to join us and to engage us this evening. Due to unavoidable circumstances, I will be with you again on Wednesday. So I'm looking forward to that. Thank you so much and have a good day. Have a good night wherever you are. Asanteni sana.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Barak. Thank you, Mr. Miguda, for coming. We really appreciate. Thank you for the good analysis. And to our viewers and subscribers, I'm taking this opportunity on behalf of Brother Benson Media. I'm saying to you, thank you so much for your support. Thank you for your consistent support. We really, really appreciate. And we're still asking and requesting that if you are new, kindly like and subscribe. You can tell a friend to tell a friend. We need to grow together. And if we grow together, we shall be together. This is Brother Benson Media. Here we say that your opinion counts. Allow me now to take this opportunity to wish you a blessed night, a blessed evening, a blessed morning, a blessed afternoon. Thank you so much. Bye-bye and see you tomorrow.